Queen's Park Rangers, and special opposition for the man himself in Manchester United, the club he served so well as a player between 1979 and 1984. Rangers beat West Ham here 6 days ago, a fourth home victory in a row. But the winning formula is altered today with David Bardsley, the first choice right back, available again after a 3-match suspension. He replaces Steve Yates. Ray Wilkins still regards himself as a player, and at the age of 38 he turned out for the reserves on Tuesday as a step towards regaining the first team place he held here for 4.5 years until leaving for a short spell at Crystal Palace. Youth is very much the way forward for Manchester United, and there are further opportunities today for right-back Gary Neville, still only 19, and two 20-year-olds, Simon Davies and Paul Scholes. Mark Hughes is suspended, and Eric Cantona away preparing for European Championship action with France. Peter Schmeichel, Paul Parker, Ryan Giggs and Lee Sharp are all injured. Well, Ray Wilkins looking immaculate on the bench. A word there with one of his substitutes, Bradley Allen. Well, Ray 38, and today's referee, a mere 31-year-old, Graham Poll, and one of the most famous faces ever associated with English football there, Sir Bobby Charlton, a director now of Manchester United. Well, there's a seasonal feeling in the air. The red and white of Father Christmas. It's the red and black of Manchester United today. Good weather though for the time of year. A lot of rain in London a couple of days ago threatened this fixture for a while. It's a pitch that doesn't like too much of a soaking, but happily it's drained away and we've got pretty good conditions. Bit of a blustery wind around Loftus Road, perhaps the only worry for the players. A much happier Queen's Park Rangers than seemed likely. Alex Ferguson knows the opposition will be tough today. When Jerry Francis left the club, the Rangers fans were in uproar. He walked out on a matter of principle and of course very shortly assumed command after that at Tottenham. But the one man capable of restoring some harmony here, brought back into the fold, Ray Wilkins, who at that time was a player at Crystal Palace. Indeed, the referee here is younger than both the captains, Alan McDonald and Steve Bruce. I'm sure FIFA, who very much support that policy of younger officials, would be pleased to learn of those particular statistics. Bruce too, like Bardsley in the opposing ranks, available again after suspension from league games, although Steve Bruce did play in the Champions League match for Manchester United last Wednesday, the 4-0 win over Galatasaray from Turkey. But on that night, Barcelona got the point sufficient to knock United out of that particular group and out of the competition. Well, at this stage last season, Manchester United were 14 points clear at the top of the table. Now they're one behind Blackburn, the current leaders. Queen's Park Rangers in 16th place, but they have been finding some home form to improve their prospects. And Les Ferdinand bowling over Paul Ince straight away. The two, I can tell you, are the firmest of friends off the pitch, but battle has commenced, and very fiercely too. And Ferdinand having perhaps a little chuckle inwardly. The referee saw the foul, but Manchester United had the ball and he let the game go on. Barker. Bardsley looking for Ferdinand, who's so often the key for Queen's Park Rangers, a striker coveted by many clubs, including Manchester United. And Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce will want to keep Ferdinand very much in their sights in this contest, which has been a profitable one down the years for Manchester United. Here's Keane. Now Neville. But only as far as Sinclair. Took the pace off it well for his own benefit. Ince stepping in. Gary Walsh having a good run now as Peter Schmeichel still suffers with a back complaint. Schmeichel is at the match today, although he has to be careful how he sits in the stands without aggravating his injury. Sinclair's cross. Ferdinand guiding it back for Barker. Good play. Not too much sting in the shot. But Barker and Hodge, the two central midfield men, know, of course, that the manager would like to play in one of those positions, so they're certainly being kept on their toes in that respect. Danny Maddix jumping with McClair, who's up front with Scholes for Manchester United here. Kanchelskis. Clive Wilson going in. This is the return game from the opening day of the season when Wilson was sent off up at Old Trafford very early on that opening day for bringing down Kanchelskis when he was in a position to go on and have a goal-scoring opportunity. It was a sensational beginning and an unhappy one for Wilson here. There was some doubt about whether Kanchelskis would play today. He's had a stomach strain. Clive Wilson not spared another confrontation. Ferdinand. Here's Davies tucking in from the left-hand side. McClair, there's room for Irwin to move into. Bardsley trying to shut down that space. McClair. Davies. Back with Irwin. Keane's come across the line of the defenders there and was relatively untrapped out by Hodge. Ferdinand having one or two difficulties initially with the bounce, then riding the robust challenge from Bruce. Hodge caught there by Neville, and Graham Poll is going to produce the card here. We've had just over 3 minutes. Now Alec Ferguson has come across Graham Poll before, and I'm sure would have warned his players that here's a referee who believes in the new directives from on high. Maddix. Ferdinand. Hodge taking it early. It was a terribly wicked bounce for Walsh, and he was lucky that he got something in the end behind it. Almost bounced up and struck him in the face. But an inspired try from a midfield man with an eye for goal, Steve Hodge. Gary Walsh will have been relieved to have survived that. McDonald. Cut out by Neville. McClair. McDonald going in on the lunge, but at the ball. Bardsley trying to switch the point of attack. Maybe in the Queen's Park Rangers thinking a chance to get Sinclair, who's a bright hope of their own, into the game as much as possible against the inexperienced Neville, who's now already been booked. Wilson. Scholes, lovely touch from McClair. Comes to Scholes again. And again, the use of the ball is commendable. Kanchelskis. But Wilson stood his ground. A fixture that traditionally provides a high level of entertainment has got off to an interesting start here. Oh, Ince was pushing, and that was quite clear. One of the arch competitors of the game came in and shoved Barker in the back. The Dutch goalkeeper Dijkstra taking the free kick for Queen's Park Rangers. Flying in over Ferdinand was Pallister. Ferdinand setting off, but the ball from Wilson can't find him. Miscue by Kanchelskis. Sinclair. He likes to cut in from the left onto his right foot. He scored a superb goal here. Turned out to be the winner against West Ham last weekend. He's tussling back after losing his way, but Trevor Sinclair penalised. Spotted by Jerry Francis, whose work at Queen's Park Rangers as the previous manager well documented and well appreciated. Impey taking on Irwin, but running out of room. It's not quite the narrow playing area that you sometimes think with the proximity of the stands. And certainly the crowd are very close, and it all adds to the sense of theatre. Impey, good early cross. Gallen! Well, Kevin Gallen, we talked about the Manchester United youngsters, but Rangers have got one here in their own teenager, the sharp young striker Gallen. And you can see the sharpness there. To get in front, flash the header only inches wide of Walsh's left-hand post. Gallen and Neville, opponents today, but teammates in the England youth setup, and Scholes as well. Impey, here's Gallen in behind Pallister, the shot's on, and well held by Walsh. No room for fumbling there because Ferdinand was flying in. If it had come out off the goalkeeper. So twice in a matter of seconds. Kevin Gallen getting into positions to threaten Manchester United. A bit of confusion there between Maddix and McDonald. Wilson. What a coup it would be for Ray Wilkins if his side could get the better of the defending champions here. At an important time in Manchester United's season. Europe now officially finished for the season. It's a rather slow death, and that they had to wait for the final round of matches when the odds were really stacked against them. At the end it certainly was last Wednesday. So it's a domestic focus here. Gallen. Oh, it's taken a deflection, and yet again Kevin Gallen looks for goal. The Impey prominent on the right-hand side. Now the positioning is interesting here. And Ferdinand and McDonald by the near post. Others coming in from deeper. Walsh trying to get through the crowd, then thought better of it. Wilson. Hodge. Manchester United have got a lot of players back. And the ball is Neville, and that's a very useful clearance. Scholes challenging for it. McClair first to the loose ball. But two to his right, no one to the left as yet. Keane starting to come now, and McClair wisely in the end holds on and makes sure possession is maintained. Ince, Scholes. Still Ince. And dispossessed by Gallen, showing that he can think about defending as well as looking for goal, as he has been most conspicuously so far. Sinclair. Corner has been given, and Manchester United certainly don't believe that that's justice being done. And Sinclair did seem to be a bit surprised. As captain, I think Steve Bruce being singled out here by the referee to just keep his players in check. Bruce needing first and foremost to keep himself in check, I think. Ten minutes gone. Corner to Queen's Park Rangers. Good header by Pallister, needed to be. Ferdinand was right alongside him. Comes back in from Bardsley. Maddix. Oh, Gallen! And then Hodge, and Queen's Park Rangers so close to taking the lead here. Groans of disappointment from their fans. They thought the goal that's looked more likely over the last 3 or 4 minutes with Gallen leading the charge had actually materialised, but it hadn't. And Rangers still wonder how it stayed out. Irwin, Ince. This is Roy Keane. The game continues apace on a ground like this, even if the ball does go out of play. So quickly retrieved. Barker. Off goes Ferdinand. Taking Pallister with him. Pallister uses the length of the leg to good effect in the tackle. Impey. Now Ferdinand. Walsh helps it on its way. Ball perhaps caught on the breeze there to discomfort Maddix. Then a push by McDonald. Free kick taken quickly by Manchester United. Kanchelskis. Davies on the left. And from a deeper position on the same side, Irwin coming forward. Now Simon Davies. Back for Irwin. There's not a lot of height in the centre for Manchester United, and it goes harmlessly behind. But how close Queen's Park Rangers came. Steve Hodge, one of the unlucky ones. Hoisted back by David Bardsley here. Ferdinand was fighting for it but didn't get it. It was Maddix with the header. Then Gallen against the bar and almost onto the same spot from Hodge. Wilson just taking a little bit of a risk against McClair, but he's got skilled feet, particularly the left one. Clive Wilson. Definitely a footballing left-back. Hodge diverting it away from Scholes. Ferdinand. Barker. Ooh, and United stepped up and got it right, but Gary Neville on this near side was the one slightly out of sync for a moment, but not sufficiently out of sync to ruin the trap. Bit of a shivery sort of start for Alec Ferguson, really. Queen's Park Rangers within a whisker of going in front. Sinclair. Barker pushing it nicely through to Ferdinand. Sinclair's shown too much of it to Keane. Neville. Kanchelskis. Going to move infield a little to exert some influence on the game. Irwin. And now McClair. It's a cut back on for Keane. Well, intervening at a crucial moment was McDonald. Great responsibility on Scholes and McClair in the absence of Hughes and Cantona. The sharp end for Manchester United, but supported at this set piece by the likes of Bruce, who Impey missed kicks. Pallister also up for the corner. Very nearly the beneficiary of the miscontrol by Andy Impey. Here is Pallister. Able to use Neville to keep Manchester United going forward. Barker. Nicely done with Maddix. You can see the pitch cutting up. The heavy rain of earlier in the week. Gallen, Sinclair, Ferdinand. Comes to Barker, and that deflects away off Gary Pallister. You would have expected Gary Walsh to have dealt with the shot. That's if it hadn't been going over the top in the first place. Pallister made sure it did. But the outcome from that is another Queen's Park Rangers corner. Oh, Ferdinand actually got away from any markers, but the ball was just too high for him. And he's exceptional in the air if he gets the right sort of service. Irwin. Dijkstra, who's earned a place in the side over the last couple of months, having been signed from Scottish football. Hodge. Sinclair. Ferdinand was a bit high there on Ince. Another example of friendship being forgotten for the 90 minutes duration of this fixture. Kanchelskis. Now Neville. Kanchelskis. Wilson got to the ball but couldn't maintain it. Kanchelskis gets the cross in that is half dealt with by McDonald. This looks more promising for United, but yet again Andrei Kanchelskis not able to sweep the ball into the centre as he would have liked. Long throw by Neville, that's another useful thing in his repertoire. Ince. Kanchelskis. Bruce. And that's given away by Davies. Gallen. Hodge had spotted Impey but was nowhere near finding him. In fact, the idea of switching play to that side was seen a bit late on. Irwin had closed the gap pretty quickly. Neville. Good climb by Sinclair. Gallen very nearly away from Bruce. Gets the foot in again. Sinclair. Gallen confidently back for Wilson. Manchester United just trying to keep their defensive shape. Neville certainly in the right place, and in any case the flag was up for offside. A bit of nervous chattering there from Ray Wilkins. A truly outstanding contributor to the game already as a player. And everyone's idea of the type who will make a good manager. It's out of play, despite the chase by Kanchelskis. The good record that Manchester United have over Queen's Park Rangers runs at only one defeat in 11 league meetings. And that defeat, surprisingly, was at Old Trafford, getting on for 3 years ago. United did the double over Rangers last season in the league. They're looking to complete the double here today. Graham Poll incidentally refereed this fixture last season, which Rangers lost by 3-2. Coming towards the halfway mark in the first half, 0-0. But Queen's Park Rangers twice hitting the bar in the same attack. Oh, it's a bit lax from Barker. Ince seized on it. Scholes. Maddix more decisive. Ferdinand. For Impey. Trying to get away from Davies. He's done that. Gallen going to the right. Impey looking to the left, and Sinclair. And support from Barker. And Sinclair teasing Neville, but not getting beyond him. The cross goes in. Impey trying to glance it towards Bardsley. Bardsley scurries and does get his cross in. Good challenge by Ferdinand, or is it? Not in the mind of the referee. It's one of those where some feel that goalkeepers too often get the benefit of the doubt. The formidable frame of Les Ferdinand flying in to try and connect with Bardsley's cross. It's a strong point of David Bardsley's game. No coincidence that it was his initial ball that caused the problem when Gallen and Hodge both struck the bar. Wilson. Here's Maddix. Now Bardsley. Pallister not just satisfied with reaching the ball, but making sure he kept it. Well, Manchester United kept it from the header. That's thrown away by Bardsley. Davies saw that coming. Gallen. Impey. Here's Wilson. Hodge trying to make a run from midfield and get free. Sinclair on the ball. Ferdinand dropping a bit deeper and hitting it instantly. An extraordinary goal from Les Ferdinand. It flew into the top corner. Absolutely no chance for Gary Walsh. The earliness of the shot surprised him, and the speed of the shot left him totally without hope. A fantastic goal from Les Ferdinand, which will only encourage Manchester United. And perhaps a reward for the earlier pressure from the home players. They've just gone off the boil, it seemed, for a moment. And then a real bolt from the blue and whites. Gallen and Hodge do the defending. Ferdinand, but it doesn't get to him. Pallister sorted that. McClair linking up beautifully with Irwin. Pushed out by Dijkstra against the bar from Scholes. Unlucky, very unlucky. Opportunism personified by Paul Scholes. Goalkeeper was a bit tentative, in truth. And Scholes was as sharp as a tack. Well, it could have been 1-1 within seconds. Paul Scholes hooking it goalwards, he thought, but in fact towards only the bar, and it stayed out. So that's in keeping with what we've seen from Scholes so far. Hodge, the Queen's Park Rangers player who was injured in that skirmish, getting some attention from Brian Morris. And it looks like a pain in the neck for Steve Hodge. But the champions are behind. was Pallister who got to it in the first place. Keane, Davies. Anywhere out of the area will do for McDonald. He just managed to prod it up into the air and find enough power to take it out of play. McClair. Ince trying his luck. Goalkeeper couldn't hold it. First on hand was McDonald. Great contribution from the captain of Queen's Park Rangers. Terrific try. Ince trying to emulate Ferdinand here, firing it in. Dijkstra just happy to parry, and very grateful to Alan McDonald for being first to the loose ball. Terrific response this from Manchester United to going a goal down. And more to come. Davies. Oh, Ferdinand trying to run it out of trouble. And he's nicked it back again. And Rangers go on with Gallen to Wilson. Barker. Bardsley having to accelerate, but using the full extremity of the pitch. And it's another cross that was very difficult to defend. It's gone all the way through to Wilson. Ferdinand again, but beaten to it by Pallister. They're really up for this, Queen's Park Rangers. A goal in front. And Ferdinand, who we cannot emphasise too highly, means so much for this homely West London club, has scored a cracker already and looks very much on top of his game. No foul. Hodge thought so, referee didn't. Scholes. Andy Impey, who actually ended up playing for a long time at left back at Old Trafford when Wilson was sent off. That's a bit overconfident there. McClair. This is Keane. Now Ince. It's going to be another long-range effort. It's clipped in instead to only suit Maddix. This is Sinclair. To the feet of Ferdinand, no one coming with him. And Ferdinand turning in the end into the tackle from Bruce. It's steering it through to Kanchelskis. Really cracking first half here. And close students of the English game will not be surprised at that when Manchester United come to this particular part of the capital city. Inevitably, the game is one that will live in the memory, and certainly a goal here as good as anything that Les Ferdinand could ever have achieved from that distance. Impey. Sinclair to the left. Hodge, Gallen and Ferdinand in the centre. Sinclair taking on Neville, who wasn't fooled by the body swerve and got a toe to the ball. Scholes, his first touch has been really out of the top drawer when the ball's been zipped up to him. He's not the biggest front man, but he faces up so well. He's not frightened of darting in behind defenders, but it's Keane looking to do that at the moment. Ince couldn't get the pass up to him. Gallen. That'll run away from Ferdinand. Well, it's an interesting side to the issue here, how the youngsters are doing. With plenty of experienced internationals to help them out in both sides. Here's Neville. Oh, that's the worst touch that Scholes has shown. And Gallen was able to get in front of him. Gallen again. Bardsley. Clive Wilson, who like David Bardsley, comes from the Manchester area. Oh, it's Impey getting in front there and nearly making it 2-0 back for Walsh. It would have been a second for Queen's Park Rangers. Deep cross from Clive Wilson. And Impey was on his toes to get there first. Good work by Walsh. In comes the corner. Up goes Maddix. And now Ferdinand. Maddix doing the juggling. Took Bruce to be something of a barrier. Flicked on by Maddix again. Well, this, of course, is a game to stimulate, but just a note of caution for followers of Queen's Park Rangers. Last Sunday, they had an excellent first half against West Ham and were very much second best in the second half, where they held on to win that match. It's a question of sustaining what you've seen so far from the home team. Oh, it's a bit short, is it, Gallen? In he goes again with the goalkeeper. Suddenly, Gary Pallister's looking less than commanding. And that's all coming from the right kind of pressure being applied here by Gallen and company. Over Bardsley. Being deflected out of play. It's a Rangers throw. Danny Maddix didn't play at all last season. Bobby Charlton with a furrowed brow that reflects Manchester United's problems in this game. Just to go back to Maddix, he had a foot problem that was career-threatening, it seemed, but he's got his fitness back and gives Ray Wilkins other options in defence. Fine header by Paul Scholes. 1-1. Well, without Hughes and Cantona, the focus on the likes of Scholes, and he's not failing Alex Ferguson, is it? That's a splendid effort. The youngster who's been bright in all he's done in this game, including hitting the bar earlier, has now equalised. And we've had two terrific goals here inside 34 minutes. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Manchester United 1. And he's got a long frame, Steve Dijkstra, but even at the full extent of his reach, he couldn't intervene. Wilson. For Paul Scholes, his fourth goal in the senior side this season, and his second in the league. Coming at a time here where Manchester United had looked anxious and vulnerable, and had it gone 2-0 as it might have done, the die might have been cast. As it is, we're level at 1-1. Pallister fouled by the in-rushing Bardsley. David Bardsley's comeback began in the reserves on Tuesday, when unfortunately he was sent off, so having completed one suspension, in around 10 days' time he'll start another, which will be for 2 games. Keep him out of Queen's Park Rangers' Christmas programme. Scholes lets it run. Touch from McClair. Keane is there. So much that's bright and imaginative here. Davies. deflected away despite the dive of Dijkstra. It's a corner for Manchester United. Pallister waiting by the near post. And a bit of pushing and shoving going on between McClair and Maddix that the referee spotted, and the outcome is that the corner will be retaken. Positioning for Manchester United pretty much the same. And another corner, and this time the referee's changed his position. Just keep an eye on anything untoward right by the near post as he looks at it. Ball doesn't get past Impey. It's back with Irwin again. Pallister. That should favour the defenders, numbering amongst them Ferdinand. Obviously the feeling there that there was only one player trying to jump, and that's why the free kick goes to Queen's Park Rangers. Steve Bruce seemed to be setting himself, but not ready to get off the ground, and he made the back for Ferdinand. Bardsley. Helped on its way by Irwin. And it hasn't stayed in, really tight against the touchline there. Manchester United quite happy for Rangers to have the ball at the back. Intending to read the passes of Maddix, as Pallister did, with a bit of difficulty then. Wilson. Only onto the head of Neville. Hodge. Spun up off Bruce, good competing by Ferdinand. Gallen spreads it wide for Bardsley. He doesn't need a second invitation to come forward from right back. Impey whips it across, and Bruce gets something on it. Sinclair. Bruce is there again. Good approach work from Queen's Park Rangers again. Hodge. And he's gone a long way. Oh my goodness. What a strange affair that was. And the ricochet could have produced the most embarrassing of own goals, but as it is, it's a corner. And that's Ferdinand and McDonald there. Ferdinand pulling away. McDonald going in. Barker. Hodge got back onside. And puts it right under the bar. Walsh's worry was only to make sure the ball didn't cross the line. There was no one coming in for the home side to threaten the goalkeeper, even just by presence. Sinclair. Stays on his feet well, Gary Neville. Well balanced young defender. There's a foot up there. If there was, it wasn't high enough to make the referee blow against Paul Ince. Bruce. Asking rather a lot of Ince then. He was hunted down by Gallen, but a bit of shirt tugging. Gallen made his debut up at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season and had a goal disallowed and generally performed very promisingly and has gone on from then. Quite a daunting occasion on which to start your league career. McDonald, more height than distance. Gallen waited, Neville got to it. Dijkstra had 3 years in Scotland's Premier League with Motherwell. Flag up for offside. Just over 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go to half-time. Hodge right alongside Keane. Roy Keane will certainly try and make forward runs. Scored a superb goal on Wednesday against Galatasaray, which surprisingly is his first goal of the season, but he has been asked to play in defence. He's always a hot-tempered character. Hodge not letting him get his own way then, and the outcome is a throw to Rangers. How much Ferdinand and Ince have seen of each other, considering they're playing in different departments, really. It started in the opening couple of seconds of the game. McClair. Pallister. Davies. We've just hit a spell in the game where the players have offered so much that it's no surprise really that some of the tempo's just slackened for a moment. The pressure still very much the same on the managers, who will be collecting their thoughts on what they're going to say to their respective sides in the half-time break. Queen's Park Rangers will definitely not want the sort of shortfall they had in the second half here on Sunday against West Ham. Davies. McClair, there's Keane. This is his trademark from midfield. Strength. And the shot to finish it off. A great goal for Roy Keane and Manchester United. At doing that, he's one of the best you'll find anywhere in the world. A dagger into the heart of Queen's Park Rangers just before half-time. Impey couldn't hold him off. Dijkstra got just a little touch on the shot but couldn't stop it going in. And Manchester United typically have come from behind. They lead 2-1. And that tells you everything, how close it is to half-time as well. Ferdinand. And that was a bit unnecessary, and that. And Graham Poll will take some action here. Keane got himself embroiled in it. He gets the yellow card. Whether Ferdinand's going to get booked as well, I'm not quite sure. He's still continuing with the argy-bargy. Keane not booked for the foul, but for what happened after Ferdinand retaliated. And Graham Poll giving Les Ferdinand, as we look at Keane, Graham Poll giving Ferdinand a real dressing down here. McDonald acting as the barrister for the defence. Anyway, it's a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers, no doubt about that. Bardsley. It's not one of his better ones. Well, given how well Queen's Park Rangers started the game, even before they scored, given the number of senior players not available to Alec Ferguson today, this has been some showing in the second part of the first half from Manchester United. Ince. Irwin. That's the half-time whistle. Great stuff at Loftus Road, but disappointment for the home fans the way the half has panned out, and now some bad temper creeping into the proceedings as well, with Roy Keane walking something of a tightrope, having been booked, and Steve Bruce sensibly stepping in there. But Keane's goal giving Manchester United a lead that looked very unlikely once Les Ferdinand had crashed in. An absolutely marvellous goal for Queen's Park Rangers. Then Paul Scholes popped up with a very smart header indeed to make it 1-1. Keane, just before half-time, tilting it Manchester United's way. A marvellous first half here. I'm sure Sir Bobby Charlton would have enjoyed it, although maybe shaking his head at the words that were being exchanged by the players in the closing minutes. But we'll catch up with the second half. The half-time score is Queen's Park Rangers 1, Manchester United.
You are watching Neo Sports.
Welcome back to Loftus Road. A match that began unpromisingly for Manchester United has taken a more optimistic turn. They lead Queen's Park Rangers by 2-1. There's Ferdinand prepared to get the second half underway. Ferdinand, who was booked along with Roy Keane just before half-time. Well, Ray Wilkins has had his say. Here's Bardsley. All the victories for Queen's Park Rangers this season in the league have been at home, so they rely a great deal on the results on this ground at the moment. Gallen, starting the second half the way he began the first, working Gary Walsh. McClair keeping Maddix busy. Very important from a home point of view, but Rangers don't go 2 goals adrift early in the second half. And testing throw from Neville again. Pallister. Well, it wasn't the most violent of collisions, but it's been enough in the mind of the referee, Graham Poll, to award the free kick in favour of Roy Keane against Barker. Keane looking to meet it from Pallister's free kick. Meted it did. And it's produced another corner for Manchester United. Simon Davies, naturally left-footed, has gone across to take it. Oh, they all missed it except Scholes, who scored! His second, a third for Manchester United here. And the stand-in striker is very much centre stage. Paul Scholes. A very messy goal to concede from the Queen's Park Rangers point of view. and a terrible way to start the second half. But great for Manchester United, who, for Alex Ferguson, are looking here to go from strength to strength. Been quite a turnaround. Barker. Kanchelskis, here's Keane. Pace and power and penetration from United again. That was a tackle that left Kanchelskis down from Maddix. It was somewhat risky. Kanchelskis with the wind taken out of his sails here. Now Maddix didn't seem to make much contact with the ball, looking at that replay. Maybe it was the way Kanchelskis flew through the air that suggested to the referee that he was looking to make more of the incident than there was. But Danny Maddix, lucky perhaps that there wasn't another disaster there for Queen's Park Rangers in the conceding of a penalty. It's going to be a tough haul now for Ray Wilkins' men. The new manager experiencing the sort of sinking feeling that more worldly wise colleagues in that particular job now. There's complaints going on here that's led to a booking for McDonald. But nothing managers can do. I'm sure in that half-time team talk there'll be something to say, well, come on, let's not do anything silly at the start of the second half. And, well, they did, with some dreadful defending at the corner. And Scholes on song, on hand. Sinclair. Gallen. Sinclair. Bounces off Impey. Certainly Queen's Park Rangers look a team capable of scoring again. Davies, but then so do Manchester United as well. Keane. Neville. This must gladden the hearts of Manchester United fans everywhere that a side without so many star names can perform like this in the Premier Division at a time crucial for the club to be along the right lines. They've been going well in the league, of course. 7 wins in their previous 8 games. But the sharper focus on the domestic trophies now, and after a slack start here at Loftus Road, Manchester United very much down to business. Les Ferdinand's excellent goal might count for very little at the end. Well, Steve Hodge is one of a number of players capable of hitting the target. He's got more than 100 in his career for his various clubs. That's a great return for a midfield man. And it's the attacking side of the game now, where they've got to take risks and just hope that there's a way back. Bruce. Keane. United alert, cohesive. Gallen, it's a great turn against Pallister. Showed too much of the ball to him, but certainly not bashful then, Kevin Gallen. Taking on an England international. Barker. Bardsley. Turning Davies, tries the shot. Comfortable height for the goalkeeper. And that's the sort of initiative that's needed here. Queen's Park Rangers 3-1 down. Bruce backpedaling, but getting there at the right time. On from Keane, Sinclair. Touch too long and it was late-ish on Ince, but he kept his balance and kept on running. It's a little bit wide, and Dijkstra was drawn into perhaps not the greatest position, but the softness on the strike spared Queen's Park Rangers any further embarrassment there. But they are masters of the counter-attack, Manchester United, and they can draw Queen's Park Rangers on here and perhaps pick them off again on the break as the match develops. Keeping out the opposition has been a problem for Rangers, really, since they sold Darren Peacock to Newcastle back in March, when Ray Wilkins was still a player here. He was released from that contract at the end of the season. In fact, it ran out. And that's when he went off to Crystal Palace for a few months. Impey. Headed out by Davies, Barker, Sinclair switching to the right. Good work by Bruce. It's needed there. Irwin taking his time. Making it awkward for McDonald. The header only drops for Scholes, who of course is on a hat-trick. Barker. Bang forward by Bardsley, over the top of Irwin, into the run of Gallen. Deflects off Pallister, corner. There's a good link up there between Bardsley and Gallen. Queen's Park Rangers just lengthening their play and getting in behind Manchester United. Just for a fraction of a second, but enough to get the corner here, which Walsh deals with. If only Queen's Park Rangers had been as decisive in defending that Manchester United corner in the early moments of the second half, they would have a more prominent place in the picture here. Goes out off Simon Davies. Nicely done by Bardsley. McDonald. Bruce right into the back of Ferdinand, and the ball broken. There are 4 forward for Manchester United here. Kanchelskis, who makes a habit of scoring on this ground, has scored in the last 2 fixtures. This time Dijkstra keeps it out. The menace there. The shot actually took a deflection, which meant that the goalkeeper did particularly well. But I mentioned the sale of Darren Peacock to Newcastle, and that's the problem for Queen's Park Rangers as a club. The finances not strong enough for them to hold on to their best talents. How long will it be perhaps before Kevin Gallen's going to be mentioned in dispatches in the transfer market? Les Ferdinand, constant speculation about whether he'll stay here. And there have been several who have been sold to the discontent of the supporters. Sinclair could rather, because he drew Irwin into the challenge and got the free kick, which Bardsley takes. looking for Hodge to flick it across. Barker, Bardsley again. It's another thoughtful ball from the Rangers right back for Hodge. Flipped up by Bardsley this time, more suited for Bruce. Barker's on the scene quickly though. Maddix. All being played in front of Manchester United. Barker. But there was a little gap there that Impey was searching for. And it's a corner. Patience almost leading to penetration. Gary Neville did well. Kanchelskis, McClair, two runners on the right. Scholes actually hadn't seen the ball coming, but Davies had. Scholes going ahead of him. I think he's played onside by Bardsley, who then just fills that area at the right time to stop the ball reaching Keane from Scholes. Astute ball. And I think Bardsley in the first place was responsible for letting Manchester United go onside. Davies. That skimmed initially off the head of Impey. But slack Queen's Park Rangers there defensively. But there's no way Manchester United can rest on their laurels here. And they press on again with Ince. Davies. Now Keane. United always have so many supporters when they play in London, far more than tickets available for this game. But the Ole's going up from their travelling band, who have been lucky enough to be able to get into this game. Gallen is offside, and we've got half an hour to go. Walsh worried about the approach of Ferdinand. Barker. Touch from Davies. Only goes to Sinclair. Gallen. Pallister showing his authority. That's a better clearance from Walsh. McDonald. They're certainly a footballing side, Queen's Park Rangers, and will be using skill here if they can to find the road to recovery. Barker. Impey. Good tackle by Neville. Good pressing by Scholes, and awareness of the positioning of Davies. Keane has got McClair moving through the middle. It's a magnificent move. The classic counter-attack. Players swarming all over the pitch from the red shirts and reading each other's intentions. Just a little too much in the end on the header from Keane. Would have been in to give it the flourish of a fourth goal. McDonald. Gallen. Supported well by Simon Barker. Impey. His switch with Sinclair. Gallen. There's a shot on here for him. It's deflected. And when Rangers needed a bit of luck with that deflection, in the end it flew up within the reach of Gary Walsh, who stuck out a strong left arm. There. jostling into Maddix in the mind of the referee. A decision that could easily have gone the other way. Ferdinand. They've kept him pretty much under wraps, but you can't let him out of your sight for a moment, Les Ferdinand, if you're a defender up against him. Wilson uses the back pass, and Dijkstra nervily kicks it straight out of play. And Ferguson just checking on a problem there, whether it's Roy Keane, who's still in need of a hernia operation, but battles on through the pain. You'd never know it when you're watching him. Sinclair. Gallen! Just can't get it right in front of goal rangers. Not for the want of trying. Maddix. And had a spell where Manchester United have picked up every loose ball, but this time it's Barker. Impey. Sinclair. Bardsley setting off, Sinclair keeping it safe back to Maddix. Barker. Impey. Gallen's there if he can tee him up. His cross. And it's 3-2. It's Ferdinand again. And Queen's Park Rangers are back in it. A second for Les Ferdinand. Beautifully set up by the home side here. He probed and probed away until Gallen clipped it up. And Ferdinand flew in. Well, a terrific fixture. It always seems to be, and this year, no exception. And the finale to come. It might yet have a happier ending for Queen's Park Rangers. So, the point I was making about Les Ferdinand when he's quiet, but you can never feel sure that you're totally dominating him as a defender, and he's come up trumps again at a crucial stage in this match. Wilson. Back comes Scholes, who's also scored twice. Hodge. Well, a pre-Christmas treat here. Graham Paul says no, as Maddix went down. No time to dwell on that, because Manchester United thinking of turning that awkward piece of defending into something more promising in the Rangers half of the pitch. The problems coming up from all sorts of quarters suddenly for Manchester United, and it was Maddix here trying to go across Kanchelskis, and the referee obviously ruling that there was no intent there from Kanchelskis to bring Maddix down. Bardsley up to Gallen, who's done so well. Barker. Well, it's really a game to set the pulses racing. Wilson. But it needs some coolness to go with the energy being shown here by Queen's Park Rangers to maximise their opportunity of getting back into the game. If they get too lax, they will perhaps pay a price for it. It's Simon Davies who's going off. And yet another from the production line at Old Trafford comes on. 19-year-old Nicky Butt wearing number 19. Oh, Butt is a very energetic young midfield player who really relishes the physical side of the confrontation, but he's no match in that challenge for Ferdinand. Bardsley. And they went a long way, Bardsley. But cut it out at the expense of the corner, and up come McDonald and Maddix. Bardsley looking to measure it. It was Bruce who was up the highest, but who's only just entered the match and seemed pretty attuned to its pace, but Impey skipped past Bruce. 5 in the centre for Queen's Park Rangers, and Walsh, and then it seemed certain to fall for Barker. It was knocked away from him. Hodge had the earlier opportunity. Back in from Sinclair. Pandemonium in the penalty area, and it ends with a free kick to the relief of Manchester United for Manchester United. Look what happened here. It bounced off Pallister. In went Hodge, who got the nearest of touches, then swung his other foot at the ball. Good work from Walsh. Barker not quite quick enough on hand, because Pallister showed his international quality at a crucial moment. That very, very important clearance. Gallen. Well, Sinclair hoped that Bardsley would be outside and had to chase it himself. Lovely dummy from Gallen. Good control from Ferdinand. Well played, Bruce, and Keane, his ally. McDonald. Gallen. Trying to force his way in front of Pallister. He'll chase on here, the back pass. Walsh slipped as he cleared. Barker. Back with Bardsley again. Suddenly now Manchester United finding the tide turning and coming towards their goal. Wilson. Ferdinand got a foot to it. Wilson is there. Cut out by Kanchelskis. Impey herring across to take the throw, or to in fact leave it in the end for Wilson. Really poised on the brink here. Manchester United leading 3-2. Walsh suddenly finding his penalty area being bombarded. And it's not just hopeful balls that are being played in either. The watchword here at Queen's Park Rangers is quality in the build-up. That's something that Ray Wilkins has always believed in, and of course Jerry Francis before him. But will they leave the door open again at the other end? That's been their Achilles heel in this game. The defending hasn't been good. The attacking play has certainly been of a much higher order. You just cannot give Manchester United too much leeway when they bear down on goal, as they look to do here. Neville. That's out of keeping really with what we've seen. It was a wasted ball hit far too long. Bardsley. Down the channel again for Ferdinand. Sent tumbling by Pallister. I don't know how much intent there was in that. But Ferdinand gets the free kick, the sort of decision that if it happens in the penalty area, perhaps you don't see awarded. Outside, but easier for the referees. The free kick it is. Maddix has come up. McDonald, of course. Oh, and Barker claiming that he was being held. Graham Cole saw it the other way. And The champions get a free kick on the edge of their own area. We're inside the last 20 minutes. Impey. Bruce. Pressure by Queen's Park Rangers. Just too long from Steve Bruce. Maddix. Sinclair, lovely touch. Gallen, strong, but not quite so strong when it came to the pass. Irwin, most composed of defenders, but it's hard for Manchester United at the moment to look in total control in defence of this 3-2 lead. 3-2, it finished in United's favour here last season. Good work by Impey. Still staying on the left with Sinclair on the right. Ray Wilkins obviously happier with that disposition of his resources. And Irwin, who's got to deal with Sinclair, fouls him now and picks up a yellow card. Wilson. Impey. He's got Barker there, who tries to clip one in. Gallen heads it on. Hodge. Again, put it out by Pallister. Nicely done by Maddix. Wilson. Manchester United collectively trying to make it difficult for Rangers here. Their closing down is good. It's McDonald. Cropping up in a strange position. Sinclair. Ince, not with quite the authority at the moment that United had earlier in that department. And Rangers here sensing a real chance of getting level. Bardsley. Hodge. Nicely away by Kanchelskis. Thoughtful work from McClair. And a miss hit from Neville. Two runners down the right-hand side. 15 minutes is the time at the disposal of Queen's Park Rangers. Certainly Ray Wilkins can't complain about the response to his team having gone 3-1 down in the most annoying of circumstances for the manager, I'm sure, the way the goal was conceded at the start of the second half, and the timing of that second for Paul Scholes. Ferdinand was caught offside, incidentally. Gives Alex Ferguson a chance to pass on a message or two. The messenger boy is Brian McClair. Ferdinand already offside. But Bruce came off the worse from that. David Fever is the physio. Jerry Francis always used to say, where would we be without Les Ferdinand? How could I sell him? Where could I find a replacement? Gary Neville goes off, and on comes Keith Gillespie, who's certainly got the pace up front. And Roy Keane's gone to right back, Brian McClair's gone into midfield, and looks to me as though they're going to go now with a 5 maybe in midfield, Manchester United. Keane definitely at right back. And Gillespie, the sprinter, to try and find something through the centre. Sinclair. Scholes certainly dropping deeper and deeper. That's what Gillespie's in to chase and try and buy Manchester United some time. And behind him, across the pitch, is Kanchelskis, McClair, Ince, Butt and Scholes. Trying to batten down the hatches a bit, Manchester United. It was a compliment to Queen's Park Rangers that Alec Ferguson has adopted for a policy here of what we have we're going to try and hang on to. Is it surrendering the initiative? Will that lead to surrendering the advantage? It will do if Ferdinand has anything to do with it. And here he is collecting Bruce's clearance. Barker. McDonald. Over Irwin. It'll stay in play here for Sinclair. Sinclair's cross. Barker. Impey out come Manchester United en masse. In quickly from McDonald again. Good work from Irwin. Blocking off the run from Hodge. Getting the ball past behind. Well, the strain is showing on the faces, but not conclusively on the scoreline. These closing stages are likely to be very testing for Manchester United unless they can just spring away and get a fourth goal. But McDonald. United won't mind the passes being played across the back line, and forward one from Maddix, easy for Pallister. Sinclair. Hodge. Sinclair. Keane. Well, the crowd certainly yelling behind that goal, of course with a Rangers perspective that Keane handled. He's certainly showing his back to the referee. Gallen lines it up. Brilliant goalkeeping. Well, Kevin Gallen, if he fails to score in this game, will look back at the number of shots that he's had. And Gary Walsh continues to win the duel. Sinclair, Ferdinand. Can he turn and go here? Got Gallen in the centre. And Hodge as well. That's McClair doing the necessary for Manchester United. Wilson, Impey. Flipped in towards Hodge, just too high for him. Scholes tries to knock it away. McDonald was flying in at him. It diverted up for Barker. Back in from Wilson. Keane wants to let it run. Realised he couldn't do that. Ten minutes to go. A pre-Christmas treat for football lovers here at Loftus Road, the home of Queen's Park Rangers. Sinclair. There's a line of Queen's Park Rangers players waiting for a cross. Bardsley can't supply it. Scholes serving his side well. Irwin, he's eased that cleverly over Bardsley. And actually out of play, Gillespie made a manful effort. But Roy Keane was put in an awkward position when Queen's Park Rangers were yelling for handball. Well, Ferdinand scored the first and the last of the 5 goals that we've seen, in between 3 for Manchester United, 2 from the little ginger head figure you saw down there, Paul Scholes, the other from Roy Keane. Will that be the way it finishes? Sinclair. Good early cross. Well, good idea, not quite enough on it. Kanchelskis, only Gillespie up through the middle, though McClair trying to join him now ahead of Ince. Rangers doing well in midfield. Barker. Back it goes to Bardsley. It's a question of also digging deep for the energy needed late on here. The Rangers have put a lot into the second half, made life difficult for themselves going 3-1 down. And Maddix still going strong. Hodge. Sinclair. Good width on both flanks for Wilkins' team. It should be the goalkeepers, although he hasn't been very decisive with it. Barker, Ince, and the ad was up. They're a bit slow coming back out, and Gary Walsh certainly yelling angrily. The flag had gone up. Impey and Ferdinand, I think, were the culprits. Awkward dropping ball for the goalkeeper to deal with, and he didn't get too much on what was a pat to the edge of the penalty area. Ferdinand! And Bruce hardly looked, assuming that Walsh would be there. Just perhaps a fraction slow to not exactly move to the ball, but just show that he was concentrating totally. Maybe that earlier incident still troubling his mind. Free kick given against Gillespie, and on we go with McDonald. Just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Bardsley, he knows the perimeters are just going well. And there's Pallister in the right place again for Manchester United. Wilson. Barker. Might get it through. Post just cut it out. Barker going in again. And Ince turns splendidly. And suddenly Manchester United have 4 players forward. Haven't seen that for a while. Kanchelskis, and there are others on the way as well. Keane. But might just suit Queen's Park Rangers to get United out of that encampment in their own half and find some room to run into themselves. McClair won't suit them, of course, if they concede another goal. Dijkstra uses it quickly to Bardsley. Immediately McClair and Ince, the senior figures in that midfield, drop back. Good recovery that from Sinclair. Gallen's header came behind him. Sinclair again. Looking for Ferdinand, beaten well by Bruce. Barker. Wilson coming on from left back. Trying to trick Kanchelskis, that takes a bit of doing, but Wilson gets his cross in. Bardsley. Sinclair. Against Irwin. Past Irwin. Oh, suddenly had to pull that one in. Nice step over the ball by Trevor Sinclair. To wrong foot the Republic of Ireland and Manchester United defender. Fine catch by Gary Walsh, who I'm sure is revelling in this unaccustomed run. It's 8 years since Walsh actually made his first team debut in the Manchester United goal, but he's missed so much of the intervening years through injury and illness, and of course through the arrival of Peter Schmeichel. Bardsley. Pallister dominating Gallen then. But Gillespie. Well, we have two to the right and Nicky Butt coming from the left. Keith Gillespie, but Clive Wilson saw him off. Pallister. Ferdinand. bit angry for the referee for stopping the game, unless he's given Queen's Park Rangers a free kick, which he might have done. Certainly entitled to, but you can see the referee couldn't have seen that. He turned his back. But it's booking for Ince. Well, the electronic scoreboard there telling everyone in the ground how little time there is left for Queen's Park Rangers. Maybe only the Manchester United diehards would begrudge Rangers a share of the spoils here. But it's very tough at this level, and if you make mistakes defensively, as Rangers have done, you do tend to pay a heavy price for them. Still searching for a goal to give them some reward at the end of a marvellous match here. McDonald, but there's some pushing in there and frustration for Rangers again. Ferguson unable to compose himself and sit down, as he has been for earlier parts of the game. He's jumping anxiously from one foot to another. He'll be pleased there with the work of Butt and McClair. Though neither of those players pleased with the referee. Felt that they should have had a free kick. A bit of a miscue from Gallen, and Scholes out tricks Bardsley. Gillespie, quick and fresh. Kanchelskis is there. McClair on the edge of the area. Kanchelskis hammers it across. It's a good touch by Wilson in the late stage to control it well and clear. Keane looking the right back again that we've seen in earlier games this season. Man of many positions. And Manchester United so close now. In the stoppage time, and Kanchelskis, United could crown it here. Oh, he's missed out McClair. And does that leave Rangers with a reprieve that they can really use? Bardsley, Barker, a brave and a painful challenge for Butt to take. Barker still going. Wilson. Furthest forward at the moment is Steve Hodge. He's in danger of running offside. Sinclair. Sinclair's cross. Ince, as the referee looks at his watch. McDonald. And Manchester United fans applaud that clearance as much as they've applauded any of the goals that came from Paul Ince. And it means Rangers have to start from deep again. They've been trying to do that and probed away so much since they pulled it back to 3-2, without yet breaking through for a crucial third time. Bit angry here. Butt, I think, was still feeling the earlier incident in which Barker caught him a moment or two ago. It's an unseemly ending, and Graham Poll here has got to restore some order. Nothing seasonal about this showing as we move towards the Christmas football. We've had 2 extra minutes added on. It is undoubtedly a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. And there's still some jostling going on. United have got everyone back almost literally behind the ball. They've got to spread themselves away from the free kick. Well, for a sting in the tail here, there's got to be perhaps some sting in the shop. The referee has decided not to take any individual action after the skirmish. Well, is the stage set here for Les Ferdinand to complete a hat-trick and give Queen's Park Rangers a point? Wilson is there as well, but he leaves it. Ferdinand blasts it into the wall, comes back for Wilson into the crowd. Manchester United celebrate a 3-2 win, the same scoreline as they won here last season. And after that European exit, a victory for them to emphasise their desire for continuing domestic success. 2 goals for Paul Scholes, well done to him. Coming in today with Hughes and Cantona absence. Roy Keane a scorer as well in typical style, a surge from midfield. Les Ferdinand started it and finished it in terms of the scoring here. A great opening goal, a header that pulled it back to 3-2. But try as they did so manfully, they couldn't quite complete the recovery, Queen's Park Rangers. But Ray Wilkins will draw some satisfaction even in defeat, I'm sure, from the skill shown by his side and the character as well. But it's a double over Rangers for Manchester United. 2-0 at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season. And on this very atmospheric afternoon, 3-2 their margin of victory today.